So a lot of local talent in the backyard. And Schobel lets it go. The southpaw with the left hand. USC nearly misses the handle. It's Dykstra to pick it up. And the slam on the top of your screen by Riggs Guy, a guy we talked about quite a bit in the pregame. 14 kills for him last game against Cal Lutheran. He gets the first one there.
84th kill on the season for Guy. That's one of the outside hitters we mentioned. Him and Bruning are going to be a problem today on that outside for UC Santa Barbara.
Schobel once again, 1 assist shy of 300 on the season. Tompkinson with the right hand, and it eats him up. Parker Tompkinson, 7 feet tall, made it look easy.
Tallest men's volleyball player in USC history, and he shows off his height there. Having him and Smith makes that front net so dynamic.
Parker, a second-team All-American last year. Lets it go with the right hand. It's a direct serve right to Guy. Guy again, it goes wide right, but it will go to UC Santa Barbara off the deflection off Dylan Klein. So back to a 1-point lead for the Gauchos. Riggs Guy once again, 14 kills against Cal Lutheran that led the team. Has double-digit kills in 5 games this year as he can't get the serve over the net. And it'll go back to USC in what's been a back-and-forth start.
Exactly right. Keep an eye on Dykstra in the middle for USC. We talked about it pregame, Casey. Controlling that middle for USC is going to be very important today.
See how the liberos switch around. Brad Pan also an option is Blanchette with the serve and a good response. Josh Aruya, who hit .567 through the first 9 games with the kill there. Santa Barbara back on the serve. Josh Aruya from Mission Viejo had 0 errors against Cal Lutheran, has been very efficient this year, hence the high hitting percentage. Roberts hits it hard, but it goes wide right, out of play, and another point for the Gauchos.
Roberts tried to sneak it outside there, cross court, and just a little long there.
A little bit too much force from a guy with plenty of strength. Aruya will send it away once again. 4 kills last game as well. Blanchette sets up Klein, right hand slam. Deflection goes over the courtside seats, and another point for USC. That's Dylan Klein, the 4th-year senior out of the Pacific Palisades.
Double-digit kills in every match. Season low against CSUN, 25% hit percentage, but looks like he's stepping back up to the plate today.
Guy with over 1,000 kills in his career. His serve hard, but right into the middle of the frame. So another opportunity for the Gauchos is Bruning. Like you mentioned, had that 26-kill game against Harvard not too long ago. We'll let it go. He goes with the right hand, right to Foley. Blanchette to Roberts. He's blocked by 2. Klein says he has it. Goes back to Roberts, and that time he finds it in play. Noah Roberts, 3 consecutive games with double-digit kills, trying to brew up a big performance tonight.
Credit to the Gauchos early. They've been protecting the net really well, something we talked about pregame, Casey, but just able to get it through was Roberts. He's been impressive, hitting over 30% in 4 of 5 appearances this year.
Guy trying to take the next step this year is Wesley Smith. Gets into his slow movement serve. Hit hard by Pearson, and he's going to buy a kill. Ben Pearson, native of Northern California, had 10 kills against Cal Lutheran, the second most by a Gaucho, and he gets the first kill there. So the Gauchos back to serve. Ben Pearson once again. Redshirt junior with his right hand. Slaps it a little low. And once again, Liam, the back and forth continues here in this first set. Not a ton of drama, but some early mistakes on the serving end.
And unlikely for either squad, considering last game, both teams got out to a 1-set lead. We mentioned the Trojans slowing down in the second and third sets. We'll see what happens here.
Guy off the deflection. Blanchette again. Roberts right hand. A free ball from Walmer goes way out of play, off to the left. And another point for USC off a mistake.
They just buried that one near side. He kept his eyes left and then went right. And it caught Guy's hands, but he wasn't able to get a hold of it.
Noah Roberts will serve again. Has hit over 300, like you said, Liam, in 4 of 5 appearances this year. Gets the serve, and wow. The flip-around hit from Schobel, who started the game on the serve. Liam, he's only 6'1", but he looked there like he was 7 feet tall.
Yeah, Schobel can do that to you. He's mostly a distributing guy, likes to assist, but he also has 28 kills on the year, Casey, so he has that ability to turn around and slam it into the net.
Another serve from Pilkvis, set up well to Foley, who's blocked out in front. Aruya with the deflection. As we'll send it over to McKenna, who has an update on the sidelines.
Thanks, Casey. You know, one thing Santa Barbara prides itself on is its offensive balance. They got 3 players over 60 kills this season. As you said, Bruning leads with over 107. Riggs guys coming in at 83, and Ben Pearson was 61. And, you know, that makes them a lot harder to scout and defend compared to teams that rely on one go-to attacker. So both these head coaches have really brought up how well they're able to spread that ball. And when talking with Rich McLaughlin earlier before the match, he said that he really likes being able to rely on people who can just get a lot of good touches and good hits. Back to you, Casey.
Thanks, McKenna, as Schobel's serve goes a little too far. And the point before, Bruning had the kill. Definitely a lot of depth on both these teams. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but USC has had the fortune of having a guy like Dylan Klein that can build the program around and bring in a freshman like Parker Tompkinson last year, who's now serving as a sophomore. Bruning, right hand, too far.
And to your point, Casey, I mean, Coach Nygaard talked about it. It's all about the culture, right? Being able to build culture on and off the court. He said, if I had to pick talent or culture, I'd pick culture 100 times out of 100.
Definitely building a lot of that culture this year. Guy gets a serve over, hit too hard from Foley. It's a free ball. Pearson blocked out in front, set up again by Guy. Bruning cocks it back. Blanchette with the left hand. UC Santa Barbara handles again. The deflection goes USC's way as Pearson couldn't get it over. And Wesley Smith, 6'11", but plays even a little bit taller than that, Liam, out there to block it home.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're going to see at the net all day for the Trojans. When they get that combination of Smith and Tompkinson up there, 2 7-footers at the net, it's virtually impossible. I'm interested to see how Coach McLaughlin plans to deal with that. You saw early a little bit of finesse shots trying to find a groove in the defense, but you can't go directly over either of them.
Both teams hitting at a 500 clip so far in this first set. Even match, 9 apiece. Bruning, much too far. Once again, USC taking advantage of a mistake, and the Trojans will be back on the serve.
It was a good look from Bruning right there. Obviously, the guy you want to get the ball in the hands of. Fed it to the outside. A couple of reverse sets, too, for the Gauchos early.
Blanchette, the native of Tennessee, with a nice serve that almost ate up the Gauchos. Bruning will handle again, and it hits the ground right in front of Foley. You talked about it. Once you get the ball in the possession of George Bruning, he can do special things, and that time a little bit of deception.
Yeah, he attacks from the weak side right there. That's something that the Gauchos are doing early. They're forcing it to that weak side, avoiding the contact with Smith at the net.
This time Aruya, straight to Klein. Smith, wow. That's the physical specimen that Coach Nygaard talked about, not even really having to jump, but finding the ball with such precision.
I mean, that's crafty. He just lifts up and taps it over the net, not even really a slam down, just able to find the location on the court and find the hardwood.
Seemed like he almost hesitated for a moment, but found his footing as Klein gets the service ace. And that's the power that Dylan Klein brings as a senior on this team. A guy who serves it better than anybody.
Klein's got a lot of action on that ball, no doubt about it. Been one of the better servers for the Trojans his entire career at USC.
I'll go again with the right. Tried to buy another ace, a little bit too far. Gauchos will be back on the serve, down 1. Both teams still hitting in the 500 range. USC 556 out the gate. Gauchos at 429. Bruning serve. Once again, long. And the service error stacking up, Liam, a little bit. That's 6 combined from my count between both these teams. 4 for UCSB and 2 for USC.
Yeah, exactly right, Casey.
Here's Smith again. Coach Nygaard pregame talked about him as a potential international player, a guy who could transcend his potential. Bruning with the right hand, blocked out in front. Tompkinson gets the hand on it. And once again, USC's blocking attack holds firm on that bottom of your screen. The Trojans gain another point.
That's that weak side look again right there. They reverse it, the Gauchos do, but this time Tompkinson jumps ahead of it and meets it at the net.
Great precision again from USC as Smith with the serve. Picked up by Guy. And Pearson gets a deflection to go. That's the power he brings. Got a little bit unlucky earlier getting blocked by Roberts, but that time gets the deflection to go out of play. Pearson will serve it away. 6'2", redshirt junior outside hitter. And it hits off the top of the net. Tompkinson somehow finds it, but the Trojans can't pick it up. It's another great serve from Pearson. You can kind of feel the whip on his serve and the curve on it.
Pearson's had a solid last couple of games, double-digit kills last game against Cal Lutheran, so he's growing into that role as well.
Has 2 kills on 4 attacks so far tonight. Blanchette to Tompkinson. It's hard to block a 7-footer, but there it is. Gauchos gain a point after getting in front of Tompkinson's attempt.
Just going back and forth as either squad. Just when you think the Trojans have some momentum, the Gauchos get back and score 2 unanswered, and now we're tied back up.
All knotted up at 14. Dykstra. Foley gets a good attack on it. Once again, Schobel. Bruning, and it hits the face of one of his own teammates in the favor of USC. And the Trojans end the 3-0 scoring run and take a 15.
Has really continued to anchor that effort. They're currently averaging over 2 blocks per set, and when they're controlling the net, it changes everything for opposing offenses. Even early, we've seen Parker Tompkinson take complete control, getting block after block. That marks his 3rd so far, so early. What a presence he makes there. Him and Wesley Smith are affectionately called the footers on their team. Back to you, Casey.
Yeah, Wesley Smith, 6'11", might be even taller with the shoes on, and Parker Tompkinson, 7 feet tall. 2 guys that are scary for opposing teams.
And right on cue for Tompkinson right there.
There you go. Guy eats up Roberts. Riggs Guy, the Newport Beach native, not too far from here. Able to bring the Gauchos back within 1 in what's been a back-and-forth set. USC still the more efficient hitting team, 364. Gauchos hitting 263, but back on the serve as Dylan Pilkvist, man from El Segundo, only a true freshman, lets it go with the right hand. Blanchette to Foley, and he finds Wood. Sterling Foley, one of USC's top contributors last year as a freshman, maturing as a sophomore, and he gets the kill there, Liam.
Foley looks really comfortable right now. He finds his spacing, goes cross court, and just in time finds the hardwood.
Takes a deep breath as he serves it away. Hits it directly. Aruya. Tompkinson got a piece of it. Back to Roberts. He's blocked by Aruya once again. Blanchette the setup to Klein. A jab. And it stays alive. Get high up in the air to Pearson. Bruning. Blanchette calls for it. Klein with a time jump. Great dig from Walmer. Once again, a block out in front from Tompkinson. Klein has to set him up. They go back and forth, and it stays alive. Bruning calls for it, and he misfires. Trojans take advantage of another mistake as Bruning couldn't hit it cleanly. How about that rally?
What a back and forth sequence. Just Klein doing it all right there. You saw the set into the spike. Almost got that to go, and then Bruning a little long on his service over the line.
That's what USC does so well. It's improvisation, improv. Able to make something out of nothing as Foley's serve can't find the boundary. Still a close one between UC Santa Barbara and USC. 2 teams that are both ranked, but we talked to Jeff Nygaard pregame about the structure of the NCAA tournament. You can be ranked and still not necessarily close to making the NCAA tournament, but with the changes, that tune might change this year.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Casey. I mean, it's no secret that everyone cares about the conference championships. But before, in men's volleyball, the landscape was you had to win your conference championship to have a spot of the 4 playoff spots. Now, you still get the auto bid, but 12 teams have the chance to make it into the playoffs. That'll be played at Pauley Pavilion, cross-town rival UCLA.
Plenty of opportunities to go around, especially in the hotbed that is Southern California. As Noah Roberts got his 3rd kill there, leads the Trojans. First time saying the name of Kahale Klini, a Honolulu native, lets it go, and UCLA transfer. Trojans say it goes to them, it does. Trojans once again taking advantage of what's happening on the other side of the net. As Jeff Nygaard talked pregame, he said we can control what's on our side, but as long as that goes their way, they'll let everything else play out.
Yeah, and Rick McLaughlin really likes to throw a lot at you. He'll throw some different positions in the middle of the court and try to switch things up.
That's a hard hit serve from Klini. It is picked up. Guy, referee looks to both directions but gives the point to USC. Once again, the Gauchos' hitting percentage dwindling down the drain. Now under 100 as USC is on a 3-0 run to get up to 21 points here in set number 1. And Liam, USC has stayed consistent, hitting 333. The Gauchos have not been able to build on that early success they had those first few points.
Yeah, and one of our keys to the game, the players we talked about, George Bruning, he's hitting negative 125 hit percentage right now, so got to find him for sure. Guy's had a great game so far, so we'll see if they're able to control the pace. 21-16, still not over in that first set. One of the things we talked about with Coach Nygaard as well, Casey, was playing to the end of the set.
Something that USC has struggled a little bit with as the 4th or 5th set comes around. The Trojans hope to avoid that territory today as UC Santa Barbara called the timeout to regroup a little bit. But Riggs Guy, to your point, hitting 400, co-leading all players with 3 kills, just that 1 error on 5 attacks. Sterling Foley for USC hitting very efficiently, 667, but Parker Tompkinson with the 3 blocks like McKenna talked about earlier. Trojans limiting the mistakes so far. 4 service errors for the Gauchos, 3 for the Trojans as the timeout whistle is blown to resume the ending of this first set, one that's been pretty close so far.
2 top 15 teams, as we mentioned multiple times, Casey, and it's no secret that this means a lot to either team in terms of the playoffs, in terms of conferences, obviously in separate conferences. But having that win on either an MPSF or a Big West team is very important for the committee going forward.
Notably, UC Santa Barbara has struggled in some of its ranked matchups. We talked about the 0-2 stretch against number 8 BYU. The Gauchos did not hit over 200 in either of those losses as Klini lets it go too far. He's got that line drive serve, not much movement on it. That was his 3rd time consecutively serving. But he'll hand those privileges over to Riggs Guy and the Gauchos. 4-point game here in this first set. Riggs Guy, the leader for the Gauchos so far, lets it go. Foley, the aggressive hit to Schobel. Blanchette to Klein. Yes, sir. Dylan clining and dining here in this first set. Trojans 3 away from capturing it.
And this is when USC's at their best right here. Being able to create that motion, have Klein creep up from the front line there and be able to get into motion. You'll see some fake sets coming later that'll go to either Smith or Roberts.
Blanchette dives into his bench, can't pick up Pearson's delivery. Once again, the Gauchos sticking with USC. UC Santa Barbara hitting over at 100 after that kill. Pearson now up to 3. Aruya hits it into the net. And once again, USC will take over on the serve, 2 points away from capturing the first set. Trojans, the number 5 hitting team in the country, entering today, hitting 373. So far, they've hit 350 in this first set. There goes Klein and a misfire into those courtside seats.
Yeah, interesting when you compare the hitting percentage for either squad. Trojans by far a wider margin, 373 to 281 for the Gauchos. But when you look at the overall kills, Gauchos lead that 396 to 294. Could be for more 5-set matches for the Gauchos and more games being played, but interesting to see.
Plenty of similarities and differences. As Longcar lets it go, Roberts evades 2 blockers. Guy picks it up. Pearson fights 2 Trojans. Klein just lobs it up in the air. Pearson again. The rally continues. Longcar's blocked. Schobel. Pearson. Klein probably should have let that one go out. Foley is injured. Trojans playing down a guy right now. Smith. Twice. Hit high up in the air. Schobel. Pearson once again. And the Gauchos win the battle, and Sterling Foley is in visible pain for USC.
What a massive point for the Gauchos right there. Back and forth they go, and able to just finesse it, float it over the net just enough. Roberts had it, but he was just holding up for a little bit too long above the net and able to sneak it by him. And notably right there, Foley comes up shaken up. He already had a wrap on his thumb there. Looks like he'll exit the game temporarily.
He gets the ovation walking successfully back to the bench as Cale Cochran, the true freshman, heads in for USC. On that point, the Trojans were pretty much playing 6v5, down a man that for most of that rally. Impressive that they were able to keep it going, but you got to give it to the Gauchos to stick with it and avoid having their backs up against the wall. As Win Longcar to serve again. In the same hometown as Dylan Klein, the Pacific Palisades. Smacks it with the right hand. Klein with the awkward jump. He lands under the net on the UC Santa Barbara side, and that's a point for the Gauchos. A mistimed jump for Klein, but Nygaard is claiming that Klein didn't touch anybody. He pulls out the green challenge card. Just a lot going on that play, Liam.
Yeah, first of all, the athleticism from Klein was incredible, being able to float above the net right there, and then he just taps it. Mind you, he cannot touch a player on the opposite side right there. It looked like he didn't, but ref blew the whistle for crossing over.
And that's why Jeff Nygaard immediately, I mean, blink of an eye, took that green challenge card.
And it's a smart call, trying to reason with the referees now.
So we'll see if USC does decide to challenge. It's a big point either way, because UC Santa Barbara, if that point stands in the Gauchos' favor, that's a 3-0 run for the guys wearing blue.
Casey, back to your point about the California schools. Seemed like we saw pregame, a lot of guys getting to know each other, already knew each other. Total 28 guys, all from California in the combined 2 teams. And you mentioned it, UC Santa Barbara solely recruits from California, so a lot of familiar faces on this court tonight for either squad.
The brethren aspect is certainly there, as Jeff Nygaard did not challenge, decided to put the card away, but the serve there from the Gauchos goes straight into the net, and now USC 1 point away from taking this colorful first set. We've seen a little bit of everything. Andrew Chapin, another freshman for USC from Manhattan Beach, will serve. He's only played in 2 career matches coming into today. Guy who's racked up plenty of assists. He spins the ball, hits it with his right hand. Picked up by Schobel, blocked out in front, and there it is. Trojans take set 1. 25-21 in what was an eventful first set. Trojans
cross court if possible.
See if they can do that here in set 2 as Tompkinson lets it go for USC, and Schobel wide left, they say. A little bit of a late call. The crew has had some back and forth agreements and disagreements so far, and glad to see they're on the same page.
On the line. That's what I was talking about with Schobel right there, though. He's able to do that if he wants to. He's gotten a couple kills already this game. So being able to mix it up for the Trojans, not be as predictable up front as they get the point there.
Riggs Guy with the attempt there And as you can see, blocked out in front by Blanchett and Smith in the area. Tompkinson once again missed the first part of the season. He's back to full strength. Blanchett to Klein. A little bit of a missed time. Schobel. And Bruning's hit is in. And there comes Jeff Nygaard with the green challenge card once again. And he will challenge.
A stern look on Nygaard's face. He did not like that one as well. What a blast, though.
The original call is no touch. USC is challenging a touch.
So they'll officially look at if there was contact, as the ball might have changed direction. We'll get a replay on that momentarily. See what we got here, Liam.
So the swing through the net, Klein jumps up. I think they're looking at right here if Tompkinson touched it or not. Either way, the ball looks in, though, to me. What are you seeing, Casey?
I think they might be looking at if Bruning made contact with Klein under the net, but it was a little hard to tell. The referee was talking about contact. We don't know if that's contact on the ball or bodily contact. But here comes the ruling.
The call in reverse. We have a touch.
And Coach McLaughlin, right in front of us, is saying that's not challengeable. But Jeff Nygaard, I guess, proved that that wasn't the case.
A lot of controversy with the touches early in this one. You had Klein earlier in that first set, kind of some arguing about whether or not he touched a player on the opposite side. And then that one right there, a reversal.
So McLaughlin, head coach for UC Santa Barbara, trying to plead his case, but he already reversed the call. Parker Tompkinson is ready to resume play. Trojans out to a 3-0 start to this set. They've rallied around the guy they've lost in Sterling Foley, who still being attended to for the Trojans. So we'll resume play after a good challenge from USC coach Jeff Nygaard. And the Trojans will be back on the serve. Once again, it'll be Parker Tompkinson, 7-footer, only in his third appearance this season. Schobel, Pearson, Roberts nearly let it drop in front of him, but the Trojans keep it alive. Schobel again, rises, Bruning right there. George Bruning finding the right place at the right time once again, and he's up to 4 kills to co-lead.
Exactly the Bruning we were talking about pregame. He just gets down on it and crushes it into the ground.
Cole Schobel will serve. Has 11 assists today, so he's broken the 300 assist barrier. Came into today with 299. Bruning blocked by Klein. Good recovery from Pearson. A joust. Once again, and it's blocked out in front. Wesley Smith and the Trojans create a wall at the bottom of the SC logo. Up 4-1 to start this second set.
Smith's second block of the day. They continue to protect the front of that net. They've been going around Smith all day long. That one you just couldn't avoid, right into the hands of the big fella.
Wesley Smith, such a prized piece of this team after missing last year, as Aruya's swipe goes out of play once again. The attacking errors continue to stack up for UC Santa Barbara. 13 for the Gauchos, 3 for the Trojans, and USC has not made one in this set yet. Blanchett, the serve. Walmer right there. Riggs Guy blocked by Klein and a miscommunication. How about Dylan Klein standing right next to 6'11" Wesley Smith, but playing just as big as him.
I mean, the springs in his feet he has is incredible. Able to get up there and high point that one as he's done already once today. And Smith and him at that net is an impossible duo to get past.
Head coach Rick McLaughlin calls a timeout. Was visibly unhappy with the successful challenge that head coach Jeff Nygaard was able to pull off as we get a look at Wesley Smith. He missed all of last season, and when we talked to head coach Jeff Nygaard, he said getting him up to speed, it wasn't just one thing that he does. He watches film just as much as anybody. He's a physical specimen, and he wasn't just trying to get up to speed. He was doing things that put him in a good position to be where he is at now.
Yeah, Casey, you couldn't have talked more highly about Smith pregame. I mean, you talk about a guy who's grown into his figure. Coach Nygaard was talking about, obviously he has the athletic ability, he has the athletic talent, but being able to process that and put it all together, he knew he had something there, did Coach Nygaard, and now he's looking even past USC. He says internationally, possibly, he's thinking about the next step after the next step after the next step. It's kind of how Coach Nygaard thinks about his players, Klein included as well.
A couple of guys on the team that have really made their impacts. As it looks like McKenna has another update for us. McKenna, you've been busy. What's going on?
Absolutely right with Rick McLaughlin not being happy with that call. He kept on repeating, "You don't know the rules," referring to the referees there. And really, when I spoke to him pre-game, he admitted to me that he wasn't sure if his team was ready for this. He believes that they hadn't been passing well, they hadn't been serving well, and they really wanted to focus on that serve game to try and create the pressure for USC. We'll keep watch about his mentality throughout the rest of the match. Back to you, Casey.
It's McKenna as Josh Aruya flies into the sky and gets the kill. Bring the Gauchos back within 4 as the Trojans got out to a 6-1 advantage. Look at that, Liam, just kind of reversing his elbow and then gets the slam.
Buried it right into the ground. Exactly right, Casey.
Dykstra with the recovery. Roberts. Pearson finds it. Back to Bruning.
Oh, what a dig.
Somehow stays up. I thought that hit the floor. Bruning again, and it eats up Cleany and the Trojans. How about Bruning keeping the play alive?
Just talked about McLaughlin. I thought that timeout was such a good call. It seemed like everyone was riled up on the court, so being able to reset. And now the Gauchos seem like they have the momentum moving into the second set down 3.
Much more manageable at 6-3 than 6-1 as the joust goes in favor of the Gauchos. A little bit of a delayed call once again, but the referees have not had easy work. It's been cut out for them here through this first set and some change. A lot of close calls. So here's Riggs Guy, the sophomore, lets it go. Dykstra picks it up. Roberts has to deal with 2 blockers, and Bruning once again rises for the block. And he's changed this second set.
Kill percentage has been going down as the sets move on for the Trojans. Good block there up front at the net. Talk about last Thursday's game, 56.5 hitting percentage, and then it went down and down to, by the 5th set, 44%. So being able to continue that hitting streak and make sure you stay aggressive on the kill side of things.
Something we've definitely seen so far today is Wesley Smith breaks the 4-point streak. Klein to serve. It's a nice one, but a good recovery from Pearson. Bruning once again. He has another. George Bruning leading all players in kills with 6. And just trying to increase that efficiency a little bit, but at this point, you gotta love this if you're Coach McLaughlin.
We mentioned the slow start to the hit percentage, but Bruning has just made it up for it in kills, 6 on the day.
Blanchette to Roberts, and a good deflection. Goes USC's way. Noah Roberts once again, the leader for USC. He's gonna have to pick up the slack with no Sterling Foley. That's now 4 kills for Noah. And it looks like Sterling Foley is not on the bench, so we'll have an update on him hopefully later as the Trojans on the serve. Wesley Smith to let it go. And once again, Pilkvist, Dylan Pilkvist, 2 Pilkvists on this team, both brothers, gets the kill that time.
2 sets of brothers on the Gauchos today, Casey. Pilkvist a floater from Smith on the front end, and then Pilkvis capitalizes on it.
Back to a 1-point second set as George Bruning can't get the set over the white line. The Trojans will be back with an opportunity. So here's Noah Roberts leading the Trojans in kills so far with 4. 2 errors on 11 attacks, 3 digs and a block. The Gauchos handle it well, but a free ball over. Dykstra creates some space. Roberts with the right hand. Guy keeps it alive. Here comes Guy again out of nowhere. A pancake dig attempt from Dykstra, but it falls onto the hardwood. And once again, UC Santa Barbara sticking with USC. Back to a 1-point set 2.
Diving dig just missed from Dykstra there. And now again, the Gauchos just 1 point away.
Pearson again with the right hand. And it sails too far. Had the right idea, but just a little bit too far once again. And the Trojans back up to a 2-point advantage. That's the 8th service error on the Gauchos so far. Trojans only have 5. So it'll be Kahale Cleany, the UCLA transfer. Jeff Nygaard not shying away from bringing in talent from a rival school. And it's saved somehow by Bruning. But Cleany gets the ace. Bruning made a good attempt on it. But once again, the Trojans able to get another service ace.
Cleany, that was one of his specialties last year at UCLA. Played in 28 of 29 games in 2025. 14 service aces.
One of a couple UCLA transfers. Tiago Zamprogno also coming over from the Bruins. We saw last year Guy Guinness, national champion with the Bruins, as Dylan Klein with a good chance, but once again can't find the middle of the boundary. Back to a 2-point set 2.
And check that out, a near 50% hit percentage for Dylan Klein on the season. Ridiculous.
A little bit of confusion on the scoreboard. They took off the initial Santa Barbara point, but looks like we're all ready now. Klein once again rises for a kill. When he gets hot, he doesn't slow down. Trojans back up by 3.
Pure athleticism from Dylan Klein. Got the springs in his shoes, and he just slams it home.
Tompkinson the serve. Schobel. Guy eats up Blanchette, who immediately says, my bad. And the Gauchos are in double digits.
And Schobel's been impressive in that middle. Again, he's able to distribute and also get a kill or 2 here and there. We'll see if that plays out in the second set, 12-10. Trojans still ahead.
Gauchos still hitting under 100 on the day, 0-9-4. Good serve, but Dykstra finds it. Cleany. How about the athleticism from him in the middle to respond? The transfer from UCLA fitting in right at home at USC.
Cleany's got a strong presence on the court. That's the back set right there. So you fake it to Smith up front, and then Cleany flies over the top. That's when USC's at their best offensively.
Guy with the right hand. Blanchette locates Roberts, and he finds the back line. Good attempt from Pearson to try to get in the way of it. But once again, USC pulling everything out of the bag of tricks.
Roberts goes back row there. Check that out. 2.4 kills a set this season. He's going to have to step up, as we mentioned, Casey, with Foley likely out the remainder of this game.
Dylan Klein takes advantage of the messy side out play from UC Santa Barbara. And the Trojans on a 3-0 run as we reach the tail end of set 2. Blanchette spins it above his head. Guy picks it up. Guy again. Blanchette, free ball over. Klein does everything he can, but once again, going beyond the net doesn't work out in his favor. So Santa Barbara, the Gauchos back on the serve. Riggs Guy leads all players with 6 kills. Hitting under 200 though, as his serve goes into the band section. Trojans back up by 5.
Aruya and Guy for the Gauchos both won gold at the 2025 Pan American Games. A lot of Olympic talent.
First team All-American Klein sends it straight into the net. And a rare service error for Dylan. Kind of similar to the first set. USC had control of most of it, but UC Santa Barbara not going away. Aruya, guy known for his efficiency, serves to Klein. Wesley Smith puts the ball between the triangle of 3 guys. Gets USC another point, and we've talked about Wesley Smith all day. He's hitting .600 with 4 blocks and 3 kills.
He just hits it so well, able to high point it. It seems like whenever the ball is set to him, obviously the focus point is on him, so it doesn't go to him a lot of the time. But when it does, he does not fail to capitalize.
Pearson hitting the jersey number of Blanchette. The Gauchos able to respond, not letting USC capture too much momentum here in set 2. George Bruning will serve. Tried to will UC Santa Barbara to the first set himself. Did all he could. Klein rises, and he's blocked. And it goes in favor of UC Santa Barbara. Jeff Nygaard looking to his team, wondering if there was a touch. But the point does go to the Gauchos.
Service was just a little too high for Klein. He floated up in the air, tried to stay up top, hence hit it into the net and the block from the Gauchos.
Klein with the reception. Cleany off the deflection, and it's out of play. Good job for Cleany to locate a blocker once again. Kahale has been a big part, maybe a little bit of an unsung hero, not in the starting lineup today, but filling the gaps nicely for USC.
Exactly right. He's come in and served well, provided some energy, and they've got to mix it up with no Foley, so just brought Dykstra back in.
Roberts the serve. Schobel to his left. Pearson blocked by Tompkinson. Schobel this time to his right. And Bruning with the brutal kill just to the left of the blocker. And once again, UC Santa Barbara telling USC, we're not going to let you go easy.
So Bruning's done most of his damage right after the first reception. Gauchos will serve it. They'll get it back and right to Bruning, flip it right away. Otherwise, they'll go a reverse side to Guy, and an ace right there.
Pearson with the service ace, and a big one at this point in the game. So we take another look.
A lot of top spin on this ball, and it's just a little bit of a miscommunication. Cleany probably should have stepped up and dug that one out, but unfortunate. Still a lead for the Trojans.
So Jeff Nygaard and the USC Trojans take their first timeout of this second set. They lead by 2 over our timeout. Pearson on the serve, trying to bring his team back to even up this game. Pearson with the dig and a whistle into the net call. It's going to go against UC Santa Barbara, and USC 1 point away from reaching 20.
Obviously, it speaks to, you want to win the set here, but I feel like for the Trojans, especially the past 2 games going to 5 sets, being able to get on top 2-0 in this one will be super impactful, especially with the beat-up roster with no Foley anymore.
See if Trojans can hold on up 3. Guy right there. Riggs Guy telling USC can't get too confident and sit back after he steps in right between the USC logo. Dylan Pilkvist, 6'7" freshman, will serve. Low arcing serve. Klein right there once again. Dylan Klein gets USC to 20, and the Trojans up 3.
Caught a floater serve right there and then just able to capitalize. Klein from his strong side with the right hand smashes it.
Here's the freshman, Andrew Chapin. So a couple of freshmen on both sides getting the opportunity here in the second set. Chapin spins it high, right hand, and goes into the net. So the Gauchos once again taking advantage of a USC serving error. That's the Trojans' 7th of the evening. So it'll be Schobel to serve. Talked about him a lot all day. He's 1 for 7, but has the 21 assists, 2 digs and a block. Distributing the ball well. The southpaw lets it go, and a service ace. And they've changed the call.
A lot of miscommunication here, Casey.
Yeah, the referee pointed down like it was in and then up like it was out.
It's a good call from Dykstra. Usually right there, if he lets that go, might be a review
The
here.
original call is out. Santa Barbara is challenging in.
As you can see the referee on the left there pointing the flag down as if it was in, and then an instant regret or hesitation, I guess you could say. So we'll see if that call stands, and rightfully a good challenge. I mean, that's a close one that stunned both of us.
And I do believe McLaughlin is right on this one with the challenge. It looked like it was in. If we could get a better angle, possibly we'll be able to see it. But ball just bounced right by the line. Dykstra in that situation, when you go for the overpass right there, here we'll see it again. You got to let it go if it's above your shoulders right there. That one a little debatable.
It's kind of right on the free throw line.
It looks like it bounces in pretty clearly to me. We'll see what they end up deciding right there.
It's hard to tell with the white line on the light brown court, but referees probably have a wealth of angles. They'll be able to determine this one momentarily, but how about Schobel with the deceptive serve?
Schobel's been interesting. It will take one more look at this play right here. Yeah, it's the better angle right here. It just looks like it skips just in. Again, Casey, it's hard with the maroon, but yeah, that's pretty clearly in right there. So what a serve by Schobel. You call it a floater serve sometimes, Casey. You send it over the top, try to overpass.
The call
we'll
is
see the call.
reversed. The ball was in.
This should make you a referee. You called it before them.
Referees agreed with us.
So that's a big point for the Gauchos. Not only getting the score on the scoreboard, but being able to retain the serve, because it's now a 1-point second set. Schobel will serve it again. Try to work that magic. Schobel has that extensive mustache. Lets it go with the left hand. Blanchette. Smith, too far. We're even at 20 in set 2.
Trojans have led the entire set. Gauchos will close in, and then Trojans have been outpacing them just a little bit, but now it seems like the Gauchos might have a chance to catch up, Casey.
Hitting 153, which is miles improved from what they were hitting in the first set. Cleany receives. Klein, and he falls in the right direction. Finally, USC able to take a breath after allowing 3 consecutive points.
And that kill percentage for USC has been creeping close to 50%. One of the things we talked about pregame, Casey, their kill percentage depreciating over the sets.
Guy. Referees agree that time, out of bounds. Another close one, but a timeout called by UC Santa Barbara after back-to-back USC points. And Liam, it's felt like whenever Coach McLaughlin has called a timeout, good things have followed. We'll see if that happens here.
Yeah, in the first set, a great decision. Seems like the team's getting a little amped up. A couple calls don't go your way. You get the overturn on the serve right there. But being able to refocus, as we mentioned, it seemed like they've been right there the entire set so far. We'll see if they can get back into it.
Once again, our very own McKenna has something for us on the sideline. McKenna, we'll send it over to you.
Thanks, Casey. You know, something to watch out for in these close set is the impact that Riggs Guy has. Right now, he's only hitting 125, and speaking with Coach McLaughlin pregame, he said that they believe that they rely on him a whole lot, and if USC is able to control Riggs, they'll be, quote, in trouble. He was a little bit banged up coming into this matchup, but has been playing strong. Still 5 errors so far, 3 digs to his name. someone who really needs to improve his offense as well as his hitting percentage if UC Santa Barbara wants to be able to close out this tight set. Take it away, Casey.
Thanks, McKenna. As we looked at players to watch pregame, Wesley Smith, pretty efficient if you ask me, as Blanchette with the serve out of the timeout. Pearson off to the left of Blanchette, and it stays in. So the Gauchos back within one. Only 4 points away from claiming their first set victory, but Trojans only 3 away. Riggs Guy to serve. He's got 7 kills to co-lead all players. Klein picks it up. Dykstra really high, but it goes over. Pearson finds it. Smith and Roberts able to warn an in the net call. The Gauchos confused by that ruling, but once again, USC taking advantage of a miscue on the other side.
Yeah, it looked like Aruya right there. Just tapped the net. Not able to do that. With the joust, it's difficult. You're trying to press your hand into the other to win that split-second strength battle.
Klein the serve. Trojans 2 away. But what a response from the Gauchos. Riggs Guy, once again, coming out of nowhere and keeping the Gauchos privileged to keep serving on this second set.
There goes Guy, now sole leader of the kills, 8 in this one.
Josh Aruya. Dykstra finds it. Cleany's blocked out in front. Bruning was there, but the block goes to Pilkvist. We're all knotted up at 23 in set 2. Biggest moment of this game so far. Aruya will continue to serve. 2 kills, 2 errors on 7 attacks. His serve goes into the net, and that's frustrating if you're UC Santa Barbara.
Massive service error right there. Aruya tried to just get it barely over the net, and he babied it a little too much. And now, set point here for the Trojans.
That marks UC Santa Barbara's 10th service error of the evening. Fans on their feet for USC here at home. Wesley Smith serves for the Trojans here at set point. And it's out of play. Trojans take advantage of Bruning hitting a little bit too hard. 25-23 is the finish here, or a sweep against the top 15 team in the AVCA. Blanchette to Tompkinson. Good recovery on the other end. Cleany high in the air. Blanchette again. Klein hits the backside of Guy, and there was never a recovery from UC Santa Barbara. Trojans draw first blood in set 3.
And rolling that momentum into the third set there, Klein just bashes it into the head of Guy there.
Trojans serve again. Aruya with the response in front of Cleany. So all knotted up at 1 to start this third set. And we talked about USC's success so far against ranked teams. For UC Santa Barbara, it's been a little bit different. Got swept twice against number 8 BYU, and then split with Stanford, another ranked team here in California. Klein, the slight tap. And it's going to be into the net call on UC Santa Barbara. So USC once again taking advantage of those free points.
Klein tried to float that one over the top. Bruning read it, but he got a little too excited and out front of it and ended up hitting the net. 2-1 start to the third set.
Caleb Blanchette. He received AVCA honorable mention honors last year. Klein makes something out of nothing. Schobel. Pearson is going to get the kill. As it looks like McKenna with another update for us on the sideline. McKenna, what's going on?
Thanks, Casey. Bit of an update on Sterling Foley. I asked Coach Nygaard in the half how his status is, and he said, well, he's not playing. Foley is currently out of the tunnel on the bench of the Trojan sideline. He's wearing a much heavy-duty wrap, I would say. It has multiple layers to it. The official word is that he is TBD. He could go in, but probably won't if the Trojans are not in a dire situation. Back to you, Casey.
Thanks for that insight, McKenna. USC leading 2-0. You'd imagine he'd stay put, but we'll see if that changes. As once again, the Trojans taking advantage of Klein evading the block and tying this one up at 3 in set 3.
Crafty two-hand push there from Klein. He just got into space, and he's just always an inch or two above the competition right here. Look at this. He floats, two-hand push, finds some space through a block, and finds the hard top.
Fortunately, can't get the serve to go. Gauchos will take over with the set. So here's Josh Aruya. Only hitting 111. Entered today hitting 567 on the year. Goes with the right hand. Dykstra the recovery. Roberts straight to Guy. Schobel to Pearson. Over 3 blockers. Klein on the back line to fix it. And a good chance from Bruning to pancake it up, but once again USC taking advantage of these longer rallies, tying it up at 4.
And that all started from the dig out from Klein on the back end.
Seems like it always starts with Klein with this team. The energy runs through number 1.
You're not kidding, Casey.
Here's Wesley Smith. Pearson's blocked by Roberts. And he flexes his muscles with the strong block.
Roberts feeling himself up 2-0 in the third set. You get a block, why not?
See the block discrepancy there. Trojans with 9.5 to only 3 for UC Santa Barbara. That's been the difference. Smith barely grazes the top of the net. Pearson with 2 hands. Klein with 2 hands. Roberts once again touches the fingertips on the top of the block. And once again, too wide from Bruning. And just the attacking mistakes from UC Santa Barbara continuing to be the difference. Trojans on a 3-0 run, taking the last few points here in set 3. Smith will serve again. Junior middle blocker, did not play last year, had a really solid freshman season. There it is once again at the top of your screen. Impressive stuff from Guy. So Owen Longcar will serve again. We saw him a little bit earlier before he hit the bench. And he misfires that serve. And Liam, I feel like I'm a broken record just talking about the service errors, but that's now 11 on the Gauchos. They just keep adding up.
Yeah, teeing them up. Their offense has been moving pretty well, able to get some service. Bruning and company have done a great job on the outside, being able to get chances and kills, but the service error is a simple fix that has been unavoidable for the Gauchos.
And on the other end, a service ace for Noah Roberts, who's come alive here in set 3. We'll take another look.
Roberts, after flexing on it, that one was dying to the right side right there. He kind of sliced it with the outside of his hand. And unable to get it is the Gauchos.
So you have another one in him. Guy picks it up that time. Blanchette to Tompkinson, who just barely flips it with his fingertips, but it finds the hardwood with precision.
The 7-footer Tompkinson, he's laughing right now with Blanchette. That one just barely grazed his fingertips, and he got enough on it. Not what he intended to do, but he made it work.
Talked about the improv that USC performs at Galen Center every night as Roberts served too far. And that was a perfect example of it, especially a guy like Parker Tompkinson. When you have a 7-footer on your team, arguably multiple with Wesley Smith as well, there's so much you can do with your lineup if you're Jeff Nygaard. Pearson will serve. Once again, another service error. That's the 12th of the evening. Trojans just taking advantage of free points, and they're up by 4. So it'll be Kahale Cleany. Missed almost 3 weeks up until the CSUN game. From Princeton to CSUN, he didn't play to end January, but he's back this week. Good block from Tompkinson. Somehow kept in by Schobel, but he went under the net. Once again, USC taking advantage of Schobel going outside the antenna. Up by 5.
And Casey, oddly similar layout to the last time these two teams played. That was all the way back in 2023. A 3-2 set victory for USC. UC Santa Barbara actually got ahead in that one, 25-21 first set. And then from there, 2 commanding sets from the Trojans. A 4th set dropped, and now the 5th one won by the Trojans. We'll see if the Gauchos can bounce back and try to bring this one to at least the 4th set.
Avoiding a sweep can be big for teams just trying to get something out of a loss. Obviously no moral victories, but see if Santa Barbara can recover. Pearson's blocked by Tompkinson. As that time he timed his jump for the exact moment he needed to, and the Trojans once again will stay on the serve.
I mean, you rotate Tompkinson in, you rotate Smith in, whoever you want it to be in that middle.
Cleany will serve once again for USC. Won the national championship with UCLA 2 years ago. Trojans trying to get back to those promised lands as his serve goes wide right. The Gauchos will try to take a deep breath, down by 5, down 2 sets to none, but back on the serve in a critical moment. Dylan Pilkvis, guy from El Segundo, lets it go. Klein can't get much more textbook than that. Finds the hardwood, times his jump, and once again, USC takes over on the serve.
Klein continues to impress, springs in his shoes, he cranks that one.
Here's Parker with the serve. Schobel, guy right to Cleany. Roberts keeps it alive. Klein into the net, but blocked down, and USC with another point.
If the Gauchos are able to piece together this 3rd set and somehow come back, it's one of those things you look down the line, you say, okay, we have 20 service errors right now. So if we're able to put together a set right now, if we clean up those service errors, we'll see what happens.
Speaking of service errors, one right there from Tompkinson. So back to a 6-point set number 3. Schobel, who done a lot on the assist end, serves it. It's a free ball over, and once again, UC Santa Barbara taking advantage of a poor reception from USC.
Yeah, that one was coming in with a lot of topspin as well, but as you mentioned, Casey, the control right there on the dig, not as good as you'd want it to be.
Schobel entered today with 16 service aces. That leads all Gauchos. The guy you want in this opportunity somehow kept up. Aruya to Roberts. Trojans in control. And a little too wide. And once again, Liam, UC Santa Barbara at this point in the set, being able to climb back a little bit. We'll see if and how and maybe when a timeout is called, and there it is.
There it is, right on cue.
So with USC, it's been creating something out of nothing factor the Trojans have had. Caleb Blanchette will serve. Schobel, guy tried to spin it left, but a little bit wide. Goes to USC. Blanchette will serve once again for the Trojans. Guy who's stacked up assists, is 22 tonight, at over 40 against Cal State Northridge as the Gauchos respond we'll send it over to McKenna once again for an update. McKenna, what's going on?
Thanks, Casey. You know, the encouraging sign for Santa Barbara is that they've gone on multiple 3-0 runs over the past few sets, and we've seen them come back from down, but really Cole Scoble at the service line has really helped to slow USC's offense, just coming in and trying to stop the bleeding. And if UC Santa Barbara wants to extend this match, they've really got to win longer rallies, reduce those errors, and find a way to get their middles involved to pull USC's block off these pins. Back to you, Casey.
Absolutely, and they'll have to deal with that guy a little bit better. Dylan Klein, who just picked up kill number 12 to lead all players. Guy responds. Riggs Guy has been a problem as well for USC, but the difference has been the Trojans have been able to keep him in check just a little bit more, as his efficiency hitting under 100 has not been optimal. Aruya with the serve. Blanchette to Roberts, splits two blockers and finds the floor. Noah Roberts has changed the game for USC these past couple of sets. The Trojans back up by 6 in full control of set 3.
Roberts going to his strong side here. He winds up and just splits 2 defenders. 8th kill of the day.
Trojans still on the serve, Wesley Smith. Schobel. Schobel again. Guy blocked by Tompkinson, and the Trojans knew they could have had that one right behind Parker. And once again, the Gauchos taking advantage of being back on the serve, trying to create a rally.
To McKenna's point too, Casey, 10 ties in this game so far. So again, if the Gauchos are able to piece together a couple of points here, they don't have to be consecutive, even though that seems to be the style so far. They can make a run at this set. Tompkinson capitalizes there, though.
He knows when he makes a mistake, he'll recover the next play, a guy who doesn't give up. Trojans back up by 6. And to your point, 8 of those ties came in the first set. Kind of tells you a little bit about how this game has been since that first set. Noah Roberts, the nice serve off the hand of Guy. Blanchette times it to Klein, hits the top of the net. The referees blow the whistle into the net. And the point goes to the Gauchos, and it looks like a challenge coming up for Jeff Nygaard once again, his second of the evening.
Considering the first one was successful. Again, I think they're checking for the net here. We'll listen in.
The original call is touched. USC is challenging no. Correction. The original call is no touch. USC is challenging touch.
So there's the explanation. Liam, let's take a look at that replay.
Examining the touch on the net there. They called no touch initially. Klein and the Trojans thought he did touch it, so they're taking a look at that. This is a big swing point, Casey. 19-14 right now. This could very well put Trojans in the driver's seat to capitalize on this third set with a 2-0 set lead.
And I mean, we're right near Jeff Nygaard. He was instantly confident that that was the wrong call.
Different angle here. It's difficult to tell with the ball movement. It does look like it might have grazed. Check it out. I don't see much movement on the net. The ball and the hand timing is difficult to see there. I would probably keep that the same. Your thoughts, Casey?
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough evidence to overturn it. You have to have that clear and concise evidence, I guess you could say. But we'll take a look at another angle. Referees taking their time, knowing that this is a big call.
That's a good shot right there. It seems like it's the net hitting it into their hands.
It's hard because Klein's hit was so hard that it changed the net moved solely because of his hit. Enough so to maybe hit the hands of the two blockers, and that's sort of what they're looking at.
Let's go bigger picture here, Casey, while we wait for this call. Gaucho's 6-3 right now. They drop this one, they go to 6-4. Trojans would be 7-0. How does that do for either squad with the 12-team playoff format we talked about multiple times today already?
Yeah, I mean, a win for USC would be huge just because of the resume. You're playing against a non-conference opponent in UC Santa Barbara, when in the past, it's not like non-conference opponents didn't matter, but they matter so much more now, just knowing that you can get an at-large wild card bid. 5 teams in the country will get that going into the NCAA tournament, as we'll send it down to the referee crew.
The call is going to stand. Point Santa Barbara.
So there it is. Gauchos retain the point. And Liam, I want to kind of flip that question on you as well. What does this do for the Gauchos, just given the fact that if they can't come back in this game, that's now, based on my calculations, a 1-3 record against ranked teams?
So it does beg the question of what the record count will be to get in, even at that 12th spot. There'll be a couple of at-large bids and then a couple of the guaranteed, the Power 4 conferences being auto bids. As a really nice slam there by Tompkinson. Good response after the review. But you talk about it, like, Trojans could very well win the MPSF, competing with UCLA. Say they don't, now you still have the chance at the at-large. It's completely flipped the game of men's volleyball.
Absolutely, going from 9 to 12 bids in a year's time. Plenty of competitive conferences. Not everyone will get a bid, as wow. Caleb Blanchette and Parker Tompkinson standing strong and tall. USC up 7, 3 touchdowns to 2.
Super Bowl tomorrow, Casey.
Had to drop that reference in there. Cleany will serve for what's felt like the millionth time USC's had him doing the honors. Guy tried for the spike, but a little too far off the corner. And once again, Cleany with a chance to bring USC closer to a sweep.
3 points. This would be massive. Again, back-to-back games with 5 sets for the Trojans. So if they're able to capitalize on this and close it out, get some rest for some tough games ahead. Number 5 ranked UC Irvine back-to-back.
Cleany thought he had an ace, but it's too far. And he's telling Jeff Nygaard to challenge. Doesn't look like he will. Maybe not worth it at this point. But also you have nothing to lose. So here's Dylan Pilkvist. A direct serve to Dykstra. Roberts. And he finds the boundary line. Noah Roberts up to 10 kills. Pushing 400 in terms of hitting percentage as well. Trojans 2 points away from a needed sweep over the number 15 team in the country. And I say needed because the Trojans have gone to 5 the last 2. Wesley Smith can't recover it cleanly. Serve will go back to the Gauchos with their backs practically up against the wall. Cole Schobel. 30 assists today, leads all players. Goes with the left hand, wide right. And we're to match point. USC in control. Fans on their feet. USC with plenty of leverage, up 8. 1 point away as Blanchette lets it go. Held cleanly by the Gauchos, blocked out in front by Smith, and that's gonna do it.